So how does Taiwan's minimum wage compare to other countries?
I think Taiwan's minimum wage has actually been growing at one of the slowest rate among the advanced countries. If you use the IMF list of advanced countries as a definition, Taiwan's minimum wage has also been one of the least adequate for its cost of living, and it is also one of the lowest among the advanced countries. There are several countries that we could compare Taiwan with. For a group of countries in Central and Eastern Europe, their cost of living and minimum wages are about the same as Taiwan, but you can see that their minimum wages have been growing a lot more rapidly than Taiwan. In the 1990s, if Taiwan's minimum wage had grown at a similar level as these countries, Taiwan's minimum wage could be about $55,000 or to $60,000 Taiwanese dollars today.
By what measure do we use to compare minimum wage?
So two of the measures that they have used to determine whether minimum wage is adequate is to peg it to 60% of the median wage. The other measure that they use is to use a basket of goods to calculate how much the basic standard of living is required for the cost of living in the country. But if I do a rough estimate using the Numbeo cost of living estimator, it is a crowdsourced platform of the cost of living needs of people living in the countries. You would see that if we account for housing mortgage at the minimal level, Taiwan's cost of living, minimum income needed for the cost of living in Taiwan could be anywhere from 35,000 to 40,000 or even up to 50,000. But if the minimum wage that is needed for a basic standard of living in Taiwan should be about $35,000 to $40,000, or even $50,000 in the northern cities. But Taiwan's minimum wage, as it currently stands, is only $26,400. This means that Taiwan's minimum wage is very inadequate for its cost of living and needs to grow at a much faster level to get to the adequate level needed.
And finally, how is Taiwan's labor rights compared to other developed countries?
I think about Taiwan's labor rights is that the interesting thing is that Taiwan is a democracy, but then its labor rights have not actually caught up with its democratic structure. So we have seen that Taiwan's minimum wage is actually one of the lowest among the advanced countries. And if we are to try to resolve the issue, we need to try to bring up minimum wages to a level that is adequate for families to support their children and for work hours to be reduced to a level where workers do not have to work such long hours so that they have time to be dedicated to their homes or to their personal endeavors and recreation.